Hello? Yeah. I'm making a video. Can you be quiet, please? Ugh. Hey lovelies, it's your girl Angel here, bringing to you a brand new video. So we all know that Inktober just ended, and now it's the time where I show you my Inktober drawings. Yeah! And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and thanks so much for giving my video a try. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll always be notified when a new video of mine comes out. Okay, so this Inktober was already different. I wasn't planning on doing Inktober, as I talked about in my first of my Inktober drawing this year, and I started in my render sketchbook, but I didn't find I had enough space in it, so I turned to my Canon XL sketchbook. So before we get into the drawings, let me first talk about the art supplies I use. Yeah. So, well, this one wants to be first. This is the brush I use. Alright, so here are the products I use. This is the brush I use for each color. It's not really that pretty anymore. It's not really that pretty anymore, and I can see all the marks of the ink. That's one thing I don't like about ink, it stains. With the watercolor, this would need all gone. This was my this is with the pen I use to ink all my drawings. Was my Faber-Castell PITT, I just call it PIT artist pen, and I had a medium, a finer medium. I also have a brush pen in it, somewhere there. Yeah, brush pen. And when I couldn't find these pens because I was leaving them all over the house, I used my Staedtler pigment liner to do the lining in 0.5. My favorite is 0.3, but that one doesn't work anymore. Of course, a white gel pen for highlights. My Tomboy brush pen. This is really cool. I got some interesting textures with this pen. And I also use my Pentel, I think it's a Pentel Artist Pocket Brush Pen or something. This is where I use to get all those dark lines I use when I didn't want to dip in for the ink. My Posca pen for some highlights as well, when I wanted really opaque. And I actually use this pen for all my drawing, this Pentel Raleigh pen and eraser. So that's just the drawing utensils, my drawing supplies. The inks I used was my Speedball Super Black India ink. I've had this for a while, and right now it's almost finished because I dropped it on the ground, and my friend lent me her ink to use. And they're Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay India ink, and my favorite was the violet. That's green. My favorite was the violet. I use that. That's a really love these. And fun fact, the white is totally hard right now. I want to get it. Nope, can't hit, but the white is totally hard. I couldn't use the white ink, otherwise I would have. So that's with these inks. So since I got into the supplies, let's get into my drawings. So first off, we're starting with the sketches the drawings I did in my render sketchbook. And I heard a lot of people saying they liked the cover. I really would like to take the credit for that, but no. This cover is totally ripped off from the Compoco company on Etsy, not Instagram. Well, they are on Instagram, but I found them on Etsy, and they don't do sketchbooks, so I did a combination of a bunch of their designs into one and put it on my sketchbook. But they say they are coming out with new products soon, and I really hope one's a sketchbook. So let's just talk. Right. So in the beginning of Inktober, and this is my OC Moonlight. I just discovered boho fashion. I always knew about it, but I never really was interested in it. But I saw an outfit and I was like, this seems to fit Moonlight great. And that's when I said, hey, I won't follow any prompts. I'll just go for it, have fun. I talk more about it in the Inktober video I did before. So this is her in this outfit. And I also experimented like with tattoos and patterns because I hate doing patterns. I hate doing details in general. And I wasn't really happy with her hair anymore. I just wasn't having it. And I used my Ohuhu pen for this, or Sakura, and I didn't really like using the markers for this Inktober, so I left it out. And this is before my friend loaned me her inks. And this is where I found this cool Viking hairstyle and I loved it. And I've never tried to do lace before, but I didn't know I love this dress. This dress is so cute. This is day 4. She got some more tattoos, more patterns. And this is a cute little close-up of Moonlight here. And that was the first week. If you want more drawing, I did one in the past video. So that's when I was just fed up with this book. So straight away. And let's go into this one. Okay, I don't know what that one from. So this is Moonlight, and she's thick. So I found her. So I was just saying, what does Moonlight like to do? And she likes to go into the forest and collect mushrooms. And I designed this bag for her where she always keeps her mushrooms in. And you know, mushrooms are fungi, so they grow on the bag as well. She looks so pink. I mixed the red and the brown to get this color. I didn't really like the color. Let's come over here. I didn't really like the color of the bag in the last drawing, so I changed it into the brown, like it way better. And look right here again, yay! More tattoos. And as I go on, she gets less tattoos. Here's Moonlight again. Well, we all know this whole story is about Moonlight. Let me just stop saying. Here's her again, and she's picking mushrooms. She was just supposed to look happy, but for some reason she looks crazy. Maybe the mushrooms is getting her crazy, I don't know. But I swatched the inks to see how it looked on the paper before going it here. Again, I mixed the red and the brown with this one. Here we are. I really had fun with the background of this one here, so I wanted to try it again. This is supposed to look like rays of light going through it, but I don't think it came through as that. And this is Moonlight doing some magic. This was before I was sold on her being a shapeshifter, a metaphor, whatever that word is in from Harry Potter. And I really like this look. I totally got this pose from Poopy Cat. Oh my god, I now got the name Poopy Cat. Oh my god, that's from Poopy Cat. Wow, that just got to me because I just discovered that show on YouTube. YouTube just recommended that show to me and I've been watching it. I love how Poopy Cat talks. Okay, that was horrible, but close. Poopy Cat, wow, that's brilliant. But this pose I got from Poopy Cat and the direction of the hair going down, and I really like this one. But my favorite of the whole Inktober was this one, and this is the only one I want to frame and put it on my wall. Not only because of the purple, of course, but the purple helps. I love the design, the lace. Hey, this is the only thing I don't like about this drawing, that hand. Oh my gosh, that hand. Here is Moonlight enjoying a cup of tea early in the morning in her morning room. Is that what they call it? Morning room? Tea room? Guess I don't know. And Moonlight likes to sleep nude. This is where I realized that Moonlight likes to sleep nude or in underwear. This is the best place to sleep. I think I went overboard with the teal in this one, but yeah, I don't really like it. Too much teal, too much. And this is where I decided that I wanted a story, apparently. So before I was just drawing Moonlight in various poses, wearing cute boho fashion, and then all of a sudden I was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if she get a message? And then from that it turned into a total story, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know what the story is about. So I just wanted to draw plants. I love cacti. I love cactus. I have a lot of aloes home, and it's always so cute. So this is where Moonlight was enraged. The story was going a totally different way from how it ended, but this is what happens when you come up with parts of the story once a day, like, yeah, on the spot during the day. So this is her boiling with rage about the letter, because I was going to make her dress red, but I was like, I want to try the blue, but then I was like, the blue doesn't really show or embody rage, it more shows calm, so that I put this red haze. And I like the effect where you have water and you just put the ink and how it just spreads, but I think I had a little too much fun with it. This one is a lot of details I did, and I actually didn't mind it. This is where Moonlight, oh yeah, sorry, I should have told you. In the note is from a note from her mother demanded that she comes and visit her. It's been too long, and Moonlight doesn't like that because her mom doesn't like the way she looks. So instead of using her shape-shifting powers to change into the way her mom wants her to look, she says she'll do it her own way, which is the natural way. And you know, people who have dreadlocks and they go to the beach and they unravel their hair, it takes like a whole day or 2 days or something, but it happens. I really like how the blue is on the rocks. It's so cute. So this is Moonlight now. She untangled her dreadlocks and she cut her hair, and now she's doing these fishtail. It wasn't supposed to be fishtail, she was supposed to have an afro, but when I was going through Instagram, I saw these fishtail in a girl's hair. I was like, these are so cute, I want to try it. And I love the lingerie. I wish I had one. So here's where Moonlight has dressed the way her mom would approve of, and she doesn't like what she sees. If I haven't conveyed it well, this is her looking in a mirror, and I should have put this back to front, but it was so cute I wanted to be right way, but I should have put this facing the other way, but yeah. And she doesn't really like what she sees. It kind of reminds her of the past, which she doesn't want to remember. I hadn't realized what the past is, I just know it was a dark past, because that makes more sense. So this is Moonlight flying off to her mom's house on her broom. The number's 2000. I'm joking. It's a fireball. It's a firebird. I'm joking. But this is Moonlight flying off to her mom's house, and she's like, maybe this, and here she's thinking, maybe this visit will be different. Maybe this visit will be where we reconcile and we just live happily ever after. But you could see in her eyes that she doesn't truly believe that. So she's just going there to just go there. Here we have Moonlight and her mother. Now Moonlight is taller than her mother, but her mother shapeshifts her legs to be longer. But usually she just likes to be short. So this is Moonlight. I just love this. It's just... So I used Mother Gothel and Rapunzel for this inspiration, and I also used an old pen of mine I used to use in the beginning, which was this, and I didn't check to see if it was waterproof, and it kind of bleed and gave these blue accents, which I didn't want. But I just love this. Mother, I don't know, every time I look at this I just think about the song Mother Knows Best from Rapunzel. This also shows, like, the heart with the colors and everything shows that maybe, no, I don't know which. It shows the beginning of the visit, because you know the beginning of the visit is where, oh, how are you, darling, and all those things go about. So this is just all the happiness before it goes to the other side. Oh, also this is day 19. I'm more going with the story than the actual days, but, and then it comes back. Her thorns came back because her mom already started and said, why do you have the same face, darling? Don't you know it's so boring? Change it. So her mom's already telling her the things to change about herself, and Moonlight doesn't like that. I love how I do the shape of the face. It actually reminds me of the first And day 20, it's where hello darkness, my old friend. That's literally what happened. So as the days went on with Moonlight's mother with the visit, is the more her depression came back and it just manifested into this. I don't know, this dude is just so creepy and cool at the same time. And he had us make, I know he was going to make a reappearance. Oh, these are out of order, but this one came next. So this is day 21. This is where Moonlight took a walk into the forest near her mom's home, because every witch needs a forest close to their home now, don't they? And she just needed to let her hair down and just breathe. Just needed some time away from her mother and the negativity she brought, and just, you know, get back into herself. That's why I put some color with the grass, which I just little piece there. And this is day 22, where after going to the forest, Moonlight had a clear head and she was just bearing until the end of the visit, but her head was on the clock. So her mind was just on the clock until the time she actually has to leave. And for anybody asking, purple, that ombre purple, is Moonlight's actual hair color. And usually the first time I drew her, the ombre was dark to light. The light was up here, but throughout this drawing I made the dark to light, which made more sense. But I just know I always wanted to draw a clock and I wanted to draw a plant with this one, and they both got in. This is my second favorite one out of all, and I don't know where this hair spontaneously came out from, but yeah, I love it. So the piece did not last. Ooh, the piece did not last long, obviously. So Moonlight's mom was like, "Why won't you change? You have these powers. Why won't you use it?" And Moonlight was all like, "I hate being a Look at that. I have the word written down here. Seriously. I hate being a metamorphomangus." Okay, this is what happens when you steal other people's names. You don't know how to say it. But basically what Tonks is in Harry Potter, where she could just change her appearance and you're born that way, you can't learn. So this is my whole thing here. So I drew this little thing from like cartoons when they're angry. Just had this little tornado thing, and the thorn just represents Moonlight's bad mood. This one was a rush job, that's why Moonlight is just all over the place with proportions. Seriously. And her mom is constantly changing her shape, if you don't understand. I'm deliberately making her different each time. So this is Moonlight here now after the fight with her mom. Her mom refuses to even look at her now, so she's so depressed that her depression feels sorry for her. And I forgot to draw her freckles. Oh my gosh, there's so much drawings where I forget to draw her cute little freckles. I love Moonlight's freckles. Alright then. Freckles done. I might need to keep this pen close by. So here we have, this one's a very emotional piece. So apparently when Moonlight's mother is very upset, she turns really young, because right now she looks like a teenager here. And I didn't want to, I realized in my drawings I was drawing like literal stuff, but I didn't want to draw something literal this time. So I just wanted to draw like a story like thing. So this is Moonlight and she's leaning on her mom, but the mom refuses to look or talk to her, and she's kind of stressed out. She wants to know where she went wrong, why her daughter is refusing to accept a big part of who she is. And Moonlight is struggling to find out, like, how can I make everything right? How can she be herself and still make her mom happy? Also, the broken heart in the back is like, just gets to me. And here it is. It's days past the days where she's supposed to actually leave to go back home to be herself, but the whole thing with her mom is stressing her out. Her mom refuses to talk to her, and Moonlight doesn't know what to do. She knows that using her powers will make her mom happy, but she's afraid that if she uses her powers, that her past self will just show itself, and then she'll be consumed by that person again. Seriously, I just made up this thing as I go. Next thing now, here it is. This is Moonlight's past, right? This is the shadow of her past self. It's not actually her past self. So Moonlight always have this fear about her past self will just come back and just consume her, because Moonlight used to be worse than her mom. She used to shapeshift all the time. She used to lie. She used to cheat. And she just used to use her powers because seriously, that's like the biggest advantage you have. She has. And she used to love it. But something happened and she didn't want to be that person anymore. And in her self, what do you call it, isolation, she found herself and she realized that using her powers made her just didn't make her feel real anymore. And that's why she stopped using her powers and did everything, you know, manual instead of using her powers. I keep saying that. But, and also she's afraid that if she uses her powers, she'll turn right back into her, which she doesn't want to do. So this is Moonlight's past self. This is the most black character I've ever drawn in my life, and I don't know why I feel that way. But I saw this pose of Serena Williams on a throne, and I was like, yes, that's it. That's the attitude. I said like, yes, that's it. That's the attitude I want to capture in this drawing. So I used the pose. I got my own throne thing going on, and I just love this. Seriously, I just love this. Seriously, I just love this. I don't know how much I'm gonna say it, but I really love this. Even though she's evil, you know. So this is what Moonlight is afraid of turning into. And, you know, bombarded with her guilt and everything going on. One night, Moonlight just rushed into her mom's room and threw herself at her legs. Oop, still no freckles. Threw herself at her legs, crying out all her frustration, all her worries, everything that has been building up about why she hasn't been using her powers and how scared she is of using it. And she told her mother all the things she used to do in her past. And yeah, and there's the mom like, oh my gosh, Moonlight, I can't believe you've been going through all this. And Moonlight like, you know, when Rachel was going to Paris, France, and Monica and her was crying in the room. Yeah, the conversation was kind of, Moonlight's communication was kind of like that. And when I drew the pose, I don't really plan things out, so I had this big space and I just added the window, which actually helped. So this, there are no more freckles. Wow. See, when you rush things, you forget freckles. Right. So in this one, Moonlight has calmed down. She's still sad, but she has calmed down, and her mom is telling her that their kind of power is very tempting. Very few people can go through their whole life with this power and not be willing, you know, not be tempted, that's the word, not be tempted to use it for their own gain. But as Uncle Ben says, with great power comes great responsibility. Seriously, I still love that line. But and her mom told her that she went through the same similar thing in her youth with the powers, and it actually helped Moonlight feel better. So it's just not, what was that? It was not just Moonlight feeling this way. And because she isolated herself from her mom and her coven, she didn't get to experience this. She just ran away instead. And I love how the heart was mended. Oh, I think I say the heart was mended. So this is Moonlight now. So Moonlight, she's still afraid to use her powers, but she is willing to like use it in small doses. So she changed her ears because she's always wanted to try these ears out, and she made her hair grow longer, and that's it. She might do small body modifications, but she'll always go back to how she likes it, how she originally is, because she doesn't want to lose herself. And I think I kind of got better drawing wavy hair, because seriously, it actually makes sense now. And she's going to plant a tree to be a remembrance, to make her remember that she's still growing. So hopefully she'll grow as long as the tree is growing. I don't know. I just really wanted to draw a plant in her hand. And that's day 31, the end. And then I drew a bonus. Apparently I got so into the groove. If you hear the noise outside, that's rain. I'm sorry. I got so into the groove of drawing every day that I drew this the day after, not even realizing it. And this is Moonlight and her mom. This is like what her mom actually looks like. Whoa, that rain is heavy. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So this is what her mom actually looks like. And yeah, the end. This end of the story. As I was saying, I wasn't really thinking about creating a story this Inktober. Okay, I'm gonna come back after the rain dance, okay guys? Okay, the rain eased up, so let's hurry this up. So I wasn't really planning on doing a story this Inktober, and I wasn't even planning out the colors. But when some strong emotion or tranquility came over, I just automatically choose a color to match it. And I found that it worked out really great. And I'm happy that I did this because the story, it's not complete, but then I came up with it once a day. So yeah, it was really cool. One thing I realized, I don't really like using inks. I love the effect, especially when you have a large body of water and they put the ink and how it's spread out. That's so beautiful. But inks, they stain. This, and the brush I use, I have to like throw it away. And I just like, but yeah, I'm really happy that I did it, especially this way. And how it evolved, and I found out a lot about Moonlight. I realized she hates pants. If she wears pants, it's usually with a like a sheer skirt. She likes sheer clothing. And I just really like Moonlight now. But also one thing, the water made the pages loose, so but I'm really happy with how this Inktober came out, and I want to know how next year's Inktober will be. Maybe I might do prompts, I don't know. So I would like to know from you guys. Did you do Inktober? Did you complete it? Did you do any? If not, so what? You still had fun? If not, I don't know where I was going with this. So thanks so much, lovelies, for watching this video. I'll see you next week. Bye. Yeah, that was really weird.